lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Do you have an upcoming event? Well, I encourage you to book Beyond the Fence family for an amazing experience. Beyond the Fence is a talented group of men and women who have toured the world to display their talents of song and ministry. Did I forget to mention multi-award winners? They're your one-stop shop for making your event the best in the city. Book Beyond the Fence today at beyondthefence.org. Click menu, then contact. Beyond the Fence, your audience will thank you.
Blood Brothers, The Jewel, David Benton, Beyond the Fence in the building. This is what y'all want? Yeah, you gon' get it. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking home. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking home. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. I ain't worried about it. 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 13 years in the bed and people let me for dead. Hit the waist, piling red, cause I'm a thoroughbred. Every word that I said, I kept. You slept on me, the government stepped on me. My homies just left on me. Nobody but mama dirt, daddy stressed, kids too. You would know what I've been through if you did a bit too. You think that you know me, cool, we went to the same school. Showing you chain gang and B came a dang fool. I ain't cool, but still I don't blame you. I'm not the same dude. I'm winning, you can't lose. Never been gangster or thug, but I did pop a slug when I was selling drugs in the slum. On the east side of Knoxville, homies they got killed. Just because I'm not a killer don't mean that I'm not real. God told me my purpose, I was nervous and got chilled. Survivor, striving, that's why I'm not bothered. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking home. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking on. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. I ain't worried about it. 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 I got haters on haters. I got haters for haters. I trade haters for haters. They hated the haters. You ain't getting no papers. See you later to haters. Yes, I'm a taker. Yeshua come save us. Y'all haters keep talking and talking and talking. More talking ain't gonna do nothing. You just keep on walking and walking. More talking ain't down for no sparking. Can't roll with the chosen, so you should go pocket. Oh, you really ain't about it. You just like the music. Get up out of the way, let the jewel go and do it. This ain't a dream, I was put on a scene, feel a steam with a smack in my hand. You think you can judge me, this clay, this vessel, got soldier, this man? I stand on the rock and it's heavy and steady, that's right that I stand. I'm telling you fam, I ain't choose to do this, so this all I got planned. No, I don't care what you talking about. Low-key capping what it be about. I hear the devil coming out your mind like no, we don't play cause we're from the south. Too blessed to be strapped, we don't even care what you talking about. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking home. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, hey, no. It don't bother me, taking home. It don't bother me, running on. It don't bother me, running on. I ain't worried about it. 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 I ain't worried about it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio, and you better be smiling.
Beyond the fences in the building.
Hey. Welcome. Yes, shout out to everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Radio. This your main man, your host, David Benton, and I am in the building. And yes, I am smiling. Yeah. Yeah, you like the way I did that. Don't even front. I told everybody I ain't gonna be rapping no more. I ain't gonna be a rapper. I'm gonna be a singer. That's what we doing. So let's get straight to it. Shout out to Elation, the family. Shout out to everybody. And first and foremost, I'm gonna tell y'all for real. Shout out. Yeah, a huge shout out to God for real. So let's keep going. Let's see who else is in the building. Jerry, Truto, Allen, are you in the building?
I'm in the building.
Hey.
What's up? What's happening, y'all? What's going down?
What's up?
Man, hanging in, man. Had a wild week, man. My plumbing messed up today. My car messed up yesterday, but I'm still smiling.
You still smiling, man.
I'm
Ain't that
happy to be here.
something? Oh, man. And you got to smile through it all, bro, because you know what? It happens to everyone.
Yes,
it happens to everyone. Yes, sir. But, man, you know what, man? You know God is in control. You know God got you. So that's the best thing that we could ever do, man, go through these experiences. So tell us, Truto, man, how have your week really been, bro?
Well, my weekend, besides that, it's been pretty good. Enjoying the family, getting the girls ready for school. Had to register them and trying to get everything in line for them and everything because a couple of more years they'll be leaving, headed to college. So, me and the wife, we just been, bonding and having a good time and trying to get everything in line. And, man, it's been wonderful. I really, I've enjoyed this week. I really have enjoyed this week.
Yes, sir. Well, that's a beautiful thing, man. Can never complain about enjoying yourself. That's why we smiling.
Yes, sir. Because if you ain't smiling, what we do? You got to get off the line.
Wasting time.
You got to go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, holla at you. Bye-bye.
All right. Let's see who else is in the building with us, Truto.
Who else with us?
Well, matter of fact, Truto, won't you get the honors?
Yeah, because I never get a chance to do this, right? Oh, man, I'm ready. I'm in practice. My bills are paid and I'm good. And I'm good. We have to talk about, is she in the building? Can we find Shay Samuels, y'all? Is she with us?
Shay Samuels is in the building.
Hey, Shay, how you doing?
Oh, I love that introduction, Truto. Amazing. Yes, I'm good. And my family's good. My health is good. I thank God that I'm good. I got a good job. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Shay, I was about to get
Hey, I have to remind myself of it sometimes because it's just, so Truto, you kind of got it started.
Well, me, I got to keep it going. Yeah.
You definitely got to start it, Truto. You got to crunk up in here, Truto. Truto is in the building.
I am in the building. I've kind of been working on my vocals because I really want to, I do my rap thing, but I really want to sing background with Shay Samuels, and I just really want to get it on so I can work. Well, I did.
I told Tutu's like a cross between, like when the 1970 something, where it started off, ooh, I think Truto like, ooh, Truto, that's you. You know that's you.
Oh, yes, that's one of my favorite songs. I love that. That's 1985.
Yeah,
Mama
so
Mia on the
you
morning.
Back this up for a minute. They don't know. They don't know.
So, Truto.
Yeah,
man, I know you have a wonderful topic for us tonight.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. We're going to talk about family.
Okay.
Family, the importance of family, and what a family should look like. Yes, we're going to start from it, and we're going to go in broad.
I want to say this. What's important, man, about what the families look like? Man, like back in the days, man, you have different types of families. I remember the family, what was it, the Addams family.
Yes.
You have what type of family? The Brady Bunch. The Cosbys. Everybody had like these different families, man. And if you think about it, we try to structure, us as people, we just try to structure our life around those families that we see on TV because it look like they always having fun, or when they are in a bad mood, it's like they always just seem to work it out. But what we not understanding is it was a script that was written for them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we have to write our own script. And in the middle of your chaos, it's like you got to make a decision now. You got to make a decision according to where you at right there in that particular moment, because there are times, my brother and my sister, look, kings and queens, men and women of God, people of the world, when I say I have been emotional at times myself, where I make an emotional decision knowing that it's not healthy. But
at all,
when people write those scripts, they have time to think, sit down, ponder, and they write the script. And we really trying to live out these scripts, Truto.
Yeah,
we really are. So when you said that about the families, man, it's really important. It's definitely a great topic, and a topic that I'm willing to. I know it's gonna be a great show. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a great time. We're going to have a great time. I can't wait. I look forward to talking about family because that is, that's my inner thing. Is always, everything that I do is always about my family. And it took you. So we're going to have a good time because I'm going to get a chance to break down the things how family became strong to me and everything that I've been through to get there. And it always starts from a biblical standpoint. But it really got me there. The doors of the church is open. Hold up. What you doing here?
What is going? What is? Oh no! Is that Jesus' little brother?
Jesus' little brother. Are you serious?
Are you?
Man,
we were right in the middle of a conversation.
Oh.
Hi, Jesus' little brother. Hi, Jesus' little brother.
Well, hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Hey, that Minister Ben. I'm a little bit upset right now.
How you doing?
I'm here. Thank you. Hallelujah. Thank my daddy. Thank my daddy. I've been so hurt. I've been hurt, Shay Samuels. I've been hurt, Minister Ben. And
what's going on over there?
Y'all been having your shows. You had Sean Ray Price. You had Mr. Cody Ashton, and Too High, and Apostle A.J. Harden. And then
well, it's good to be listening.
Now, come on now. Don't start that, man. That's true, too, especially you. Because sometimes, I just love you, but, boy, you just, I think you got some meanness in you. Oh, really? Really? Yeah, Lord, but I can't hold it. Oh, Lord. Hold my mule. How many mules you got? Come on, hold your mule. Lord Jesus Christ. David, help him.
Truto, you got something on your hands tonight with Jesus' little brother. You got something on your hands tonight. But Jesus' little brother, it's good that you've been checking in. I pray that you've been learning from us. And, we get a lot from you when you call in, too.
Thank you. I just, but I tell you, in my heart, I heard the one where y'all did about forgiveness. Whoa, Lord. And I tell y'all. So I forgive y'all.
Well, I appreciate you for forgiving us. I appreciate you for giving us, my brother. But, man, you got to knock sometimes before you just bust in the church.
Yes. The door of the church ain't always open, Jesus' little brother.
Yeah, because I got to open the door. I had to go get the key. Y'all lock the door. That's why I said the doors of the church is open.
Yeah, we put security out there for you, and you still get in. Well, I guess we got to let him in, fellas, because he's persistent. We're going to have to let him in when he comes. It's always good to hear your voice, Jesus' little brother. And we missed you.
We missed you, brother.
I had to go on the roof and dig a hole. And then come down from the, oh, Lord, Lord, Daddy, thank you, Daddy. I had to come down through the roof.
Wow. Isn't that already written, though? Isn't that already written? Did you steal that line from somebody, Jesus' little brother? Did you steal that little story that you just said that they had to drop you down from the roof?
I was the one on the mat. I wasn't paralyzed. I was just tired. And I told my cousin there, I said, look, man, I need y'all to carry me. I need to go see my brother. But, Tino didn't go see Michael Jackson. So, I was the first one. My brother seen me there outside. I was there. So, but
it's okay. It's okay, Jesus' little brother. I'm patting you on the back. I'm loving on you. It's okay. It's okay.
That's right. That's right.
Times in our life, we all have pain.
That's right. Hey.
We all have sorrow.
That's right.
Come on, sing it with me, Jesus' brother.
Jesus, little brother, you done interrupted our show. Yeah, you got to get up off here, Truto.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
You gotta go, brother.
You gotta go. Okay,
you gotta go.
Tell Kim I said hello.
Oh, Kim, Jesus' little brother says hello. Elation family, Jesus' little brother says hello.
Okay. Yeah, look, you gotta get out here. We got some serious message to take care of. We'll listen later on. Okay.
Oh man, Truto. Shay, what are we gonna do with Jesus' little brother?
That was hilarious. I'm always happy to hear from Jesus' little brother, and I felt so bad for him tonight, y'all. We got to let him come back a little bit more. He got to a point where he done came down the chimney just to come through the church, and then he could come through the church doors.
A real Santa Claus.
Oh, he turned into a real Santa Claus, and you could tell he was hurt because his voice was all high pitched. He was hurt. He was hurt. Jesus, little brother, we love you.
He probably stumped his toe on the way in. That's probably what's wrong with it. Me and him don't. I'm sorry, y'all. Elations and all of my people. Y'all know Truto is a giving heart, but me and him, I just don't. We unevenly.
You better get your cousin Truto.
I'm gonna have to do something.
He made some good points. He made some good points, though. He made some really good points.
Yes, he did.
Well,
I had to agree with him this time.
You had to do what?
I had to agree with him. Yes, he made some really good points.
No, he did not. No, he did not. Well, we're gonna go.
He seemed to be. He was on you tonight, Truto. I don't know what you did. I don't know whose brother you made mad. I don't know what store you stole from, but he was on you tonight.
Yeah, I think me and him gonna have to work on that because I think he got it in for me. I think he's trying to take my spot. I think he want my job. That's what it is. I believe he want my job. Yeah.
Well, I'll be looking in for my messenger to see.
So, Truto, man, we got a beautiful topic tonight. And I am excited. I'm excited. My brother, are you ready to get started? Because we got a nice show.
I am ready to get started. Yes, I am, y'all.
We passing the baton, brother. We passing to you right now. Let's go, because I'm ready.
Yeah. All right, here we go, y'all. We're talking about family. And when I look at family, I want to start at the beginning. And I want to look at Genesis 1 and 27, and we're going to go into 28 as well. Okay. So created mankind in his own image. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in numbers. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves over the ground. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Because you know what? That is the foundation of family. As the creation made us male and female, we know that here we go with mother and father. And as he created us, he told us to be fruitful and increase in numbers. So we knowing that we're looking at, when we increase in numbers, we're looking at our kids and our children. So I'm going to break this down. I'm going to paint this picture. Okay, we're going to go over here to Psalm 127 and 3. Now, see, right now I'm putting them family together.
All right.
Children, a heritage from the Lord. Offspring, a reward from Him. Okay, now we're good. We finna run now, y'all. Okay, we done painted the picture. We know mother, father. He said increase, so he talked about the children. Now, as we go from here, we're finna talk about the importance. We're gonna talk about the importance of it. Now, as we go down through, we're going to go to Exodus 20 and 12. It says, honor thy mother and thy father, so you may live long in the land the Lord has given us. Now, we hit it back to the top again, mother and father. Now, the importance of family at the beginning, we look at that if we honor our mother and father, we will live long in this land. So we know that we will have longevity, prosperity in this land of honoring our mother and our father. Now, as we go down as being parents and family, a lot of us tend to understand now that family dynamic has changed over the years, and we know that everybody that is not bloodline are still considered family. So when we look at this, I look at the love that we should have for each other as a family and how important family is. I remember, I don't have a PhD, y'all. I don't have, but I have a PE. I always said personal experience. I remember being 17 years old. I had just lost my arm. I was married, and I had a baby on the way. And I was learning how to be a father because I had great father figures in my life. Now, my mother taught me about God. I grew up in a fire and brimstone house, y'all. Y'all hear me? And understanding the importance of family, because my mama had one saying that she said to me: you have a child, son, you're going to take care of this child. And understanding that as I grew up and as I went down the line, learning the importance of family, I learned to, as a young man, I made many mistakes. But the one thing I never did, I never broke the unity and the love that I had for my kids. Now, us as, we look at family now, the family structure now is becoming to where kind of really seem to not care about our family structure anymore. We hear a lot of that, fathers ain't doing what they supposed to do. Mothers are not caring. But as you go down through the Bible, the terminology of biblical terminology is always about family. Now, I'm going to start again from the top. God is our Heavenly Father. Jesus is known as the begotten Son. And us as saints of God, we are known as brothers and sisters in Christ. These terminologies are family terminologies. And if we understand that we should love each other better, we should take more care of each other and look toward each other in a better way. See, family.
Truto.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a question.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to go back to the unity piece. We're about to go to a music break, but I wanted to go back to the unity piece of Adam and Eve. I was just thinking about how once demonic force came in, unity was easily broken. And so when you were talking about that, I was just really thinking about the fact that unity also can be broken in a home. And I think for me personally, what I want to, after the music break, I want to really expound on is the unity that can be broken. Have a lot of people, and how do we get to the place that you're talking? Because I appreciate you saying it too, where you're saying we have to get back to that. It's, for us, one thing we do love to on Beyond Radio is in a way that outside of it just being, we have to get back to that world. Sending our love to where area there were some massive shootings that have happened over the last few weeks, and their family members losing family members, and within that, because of the lack of unity, it's not even handled well. So what I'd like to do when we come back from the music break is really talk about the unity that can be disrupted, going back to Adam and Eve, how the unity can be disrupted, and how can we tonight talk about how we can get that back in the home in a practical way.
Amen.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do a David Benton. Let's go to some music.
It's your boy David Benton. Hey yo, Shay. It's time to go beyond the fence. Life is so good. It's so good. Yeah. A merry heart do it's good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones, Yeah.
The world's
It's about 8 in the morning, I'm just waking up. Got the Folgers on brew, about to fill my cup. While I'm looking out the window and the sun come up, I'm good. It's about 8 in the morning, I'm just waking up. Got the Folgers on brew, about to fill my cup. While I'm looking out the window at the sun come up, I'm good. I'm about to get my day started. Off to work, about to make them dollars. If only you knew what I've been through, you would smile and say that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. And my family's good, my health is good. I thank God that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. I got food on the table, I know that He's able. Thank God I'm good. God, I'm good. I thank God I'm good.
Life is so good.
I thank God I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You are magnificent, great. You're feeling this hate, but we're ignorant grace. So intimate place, your heart of innocence make a life different break. This whole sin and the sinners, cause the enemy hate. You are the sun, stars, and the moon. You are the beam of light when it's dark in the room. When I depart from the womb, you're the air that I breathe. Always there when I need you, preparing for peace. You're so good.
I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. And my family's good, and my health is good. I thank God that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. I got food on the table, I know that He's able. Thank God I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. And my family's good, my health is good. I thank God that I'm so good, so good, so good, so good. Lord, You've been so good to me. Yes, You have. I'm telling you, Lord, You've been so good to me.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio. And you better be smiling.
Beyond the Fences in the
building. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. If you are just tuned in, this is Beyond the Radio with your host, your main man, David Benton, and two amazing co-hosts, Shay Samuels and Jerry Truto Allen. We are also in the building, and we are smiling. You just heard two amazing songs by Shay Samuels. The first one was I'm Good, featuring the one and only David Benton, and Beautiful to my sisters. I give you all a shout-out. You are absolutely 100% beautiful. Speaking of beautiful sisters, I do need to give a shout-out to our sponsors. First of all, we want to say thank you guys for always sponsoring us, doing an amazing job with what you do. The first sister, Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. If you guys heard that amazing commercial in the beginning, all about Beyond the Fence, book Beyond the Fence. Paula G. said it best. Book Beyond the Fence at www.beyondthefence.org. But Paula G. is an amazing voiceover, so if you are listening or looking for a voiceover service, please look up Paula G. Facebook, Paula G. Voice. Also, Tess Hair Braiding. Please look up Tess. With the pandemic happening, you know, all of our sponsors are small business owners. That's why they're our sponsors. They are small business owners making an impact on the communities. So anything you guys can do at this point, if you are growing your business, if you are, they might be doing mobile services at this point. Contact Tess. The address is 5910 Kirkwood Highway in Wilmington, Delaware. I'll need to get her cell phone just in case they are doing mobile services, but tell them that Beyond the Fence sent you. Also, our newest and amazing sponsor, Soul Sisters Naturals. That's Soul Sisters, SISTAHS Naturals. Y'all, guess what? I gotta give a little shout out. I've been using these products for the last 2 weeks, and they are absolutely 100% amazing. I have never been the person to actually use incense, but I've used these incense since I've gotten them, and they smell amazing. I didn't know how incense were supposed to smell before, but they are amazing. Body butters are amazing. I'm using the hair products. They are amazing. So shout out to Soul Sisters Natural. Please look them up at www.etsy.com/shop/Soul Sisters Naturals. You'll be able to find that on our page, Beyond the Radio. And lastly, Asante Rose, A Rhodes Media, for any logo or graphic designs. And don't forget, you can hit Truto up as well by going to the Beyond the Radio message page, and we will get you guys hooked up. And I do want to give a shout out. Guess what I did this weekend, guys?
What you do?
I had the amazing opportunity to donate. BDF had an opportunity to donate this year. We donate every year to a lot of people, and this year I had the amazing task of donating to a worthy academy. And our amazing sister, her name is Monique Washington. Y'all don't understand the power behind this woman's nonprofit. David, we actually nominated and honored her at this year's God is in Everything conference for her community efforts. And so not only did we give back, but she was nominated and honored at the 2020 God is in Everything conference. So shout out to her for that. But I do, before we go back into the topic, I want to give you guys a little bit about this nonprofit group. First of all, shout out to Staples, Mr. Troy Holman. If you guys have seen this picture on my Instagram or Facebook, if you haven't, please go. I think he's about 7 feet.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Very tall.
He is very, very tall. I felt like people call me a midget, but honestly, I really felt like a midget. But shout out to him, Staples in Canton, Georgia. Please go, if you're in the Canton, Georgia area, make sure you go in and let them know that Shay Samuel said hello, but make sure you guys patronize that. He is the general manager, Troy Holman, amazing guy. But just a little bit about this nonprofit, because they are still looking for donations. Their mission is to empower and equip, educate young ladies between the ages of 18 and 24 to achieve success personally and professionally. Go ahead, David. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we hear.
All right. All right, and so they do want to empower, equip, educate young ladies between the ages of 18 and 24 to achieve success personally and professionally. They also want them to finish college or open their business, whichever route they choose. They will be there from the beginning to the end. And so they also are working in conjunction with World Shakers Church, Pastor Dennis and Lakeisha Spears. So when I went there, I felt welcome. I got a chance to interview some people, but more than anything, the blessing was that we were able to donate to the cause. So go ahead to the Beyond the Fence and look at some of those pictures that we had from this weekend, and also look up Monique Washington, or on Instagram, The Worthy Academy. If you guys want to donate some shoes, if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, please go ahead and look her up and get those shoes over, because summer's almost over, so y'all don't need them anymore. And then you don't need the shoes that you guys had last year, so go ahead and get those shoes out. And the website is www.theworthyacademyga.com. I'm going to say that again. It's www.theworthyacademyga.com. We always are giving back, Monique Washington. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of what you did yesterday, and we look forward to the future with you guys.
Yes, thank you, Monique.
Thank you, Monique.
Yes, definitely appreciate it. It's always a beautiful thing. And you know what, Shay? That's what family is all about. So now I think that's where it's important to really talk about family, because I want to say this. When you look at Jesus himself, right? Jesus, when they questioned Jesus in Matthew 12, chapter 12, verses 46 through 50. And I'm going to read this out the NIV version. It say, while Jesus was still talking to the crowd, his mother and brother stood outside wanting to speak to him. Someone told him, your brother, your mothers are standing outside wanting to speak to you. He replied to them, who is my mother, who is my brothers? Pointing to his disciples, he said, here are my mother and here are my brothers. For whosoever do the will of the Father in heaven is my brother and my sister and my mother. Now, what's so effective and so powerful about that, Jesus gave us an illustration. He gave us an example of saying family is not always what we would call blood relative, right? So it's one of those things when you bond with people, when you and that person or people have the same vision, when y'all have the same thing in mind. See, here's the thing. Me coming from a guy who was in a gang at one point in time, understand, before I did 13 years in federal prison, I was a vice lord. I was in a gang. In that gang, I thought that was family, and I was brainwashed so much by demonic power because I felt that this is my family and I would die for my family. See, I was loyal to that family. So now you have to decide and say, okay, you realize not everyone that's blood relative is family. They can be a relative, but that don't make them family anymore. You create your own family. But you want your family to be able to coincide to where it's something productive, something powerful, something positive, like-minded. That's why the Bible want to give us that same type of the Bible want to give us the same type of balance, right? It want to give us that balance. It tells us about obedience. It tells us about our attitudes. It tells us about sin. It tells us these are characteristics so we can be able to balance out a family. You get it? That's the value of character. Right. When our character is developed, now we can make the thing we call wisdom, to make better choices through the knowledge that we have already obtained. So now you would be able to pick that mate, right? You'll be able to pick that mate. See? God created one thing, but you got to understand, as men have destroyed it. God didn't even give that much credit to the devil. Yeah, money is the root of all evil. So the devil don't even get that much credit. We're giving power to the negativity.
Come on.
We're giving those negative thoughts, which creates negative energy. Man, you either going to have a magnetic pull to something positive or something negative. And when you put yourself around positive people, your focus is going to change. Your attitude is going to change. Your speaking is going to change. The way you walk, the way you talk, everything is going to change. But it's going to be according to the family that you are in. Shay, do you want to expound on that? Because you were saying something earlier, and I couldn't hardly hear it. The phone was cutting out a little bit.
That's okay.
So, do you want to come in?
I was just, pretty much what you were talking about. Just kind of, I love that Truto was talking about unity in the family. And I was saying, what happens when there's no unity? He had mentioned Adam and Eve, and I thought about when Adam and Eve were one at one point, but then decided that they would turn against one another once that quote-unquote demonic force came upon them. And they quickly turned against one another. No, you did it. He did it. It was the woman you gave me, right? And it amazes me how even in families, the most critical demise is within the family. A lot of people don't have the structure that Truto was talking about in the beginning. And I was saying that what we want to do here on Beyond the Radio is really talk about how we can practically teach that tonight, because a lot of people are this generation of children are very different, right? So it's easy for us to say at 8 o'clock I used to be in bed by a certain time at my age. Right, at 8 o'clock, at a certain age, I would have to be in bed at 8 o'clock. There was no question in that, There was no question in what I was going to eat for dinner. These kids have an opportunity now to just say this is what they want for dinner. Parents are really asking kids like, well, what do you want, right? But there were a lot of things, a lot of principles that we carried when we were younger that would not apply to right now. But what I found is, when it comes down to the unity, Truto, because you were talking about it, when it comes down to the unity, the reason why it's not there anymore is because of options. So now what David was talking about is the option. There's so many alternative families presented to us generally, right? So you have, for David, it was the vice lords. For some people, it's the church home. Do you know how many women actually take over the pastor rather than their husband? Like they'd rather cater to the pastor's needs than the husband's needs? Do you know how many men, if we're talking church-based, how many men may not even go to church with the family? They rather be home and sit down and watch, football. But there's that gap there in between it. For David, it was the vice lords. For me, when I first moved to Georgia, I used to when you were talking about different families, David, I was thinking about and I hate to say, but I was thinking about when the world started turning, different strokes came on, and it was a white man raising two black boys. And it was, do you get what I'm saying? The world started turning and started looking different. So now where you had the Cosbys or you had other families who were showing all black families, now the world's turning and you have, like I said, the different strokes. So what I was basically saying is when we start looking at it from a perspective of unity is not always going to be in the family. And I'm saying this specifically to Truto as a teaching tool, and for the listeners as a teaching tool. Unity should be in the family, but where we stand now, it's probably the most ununified in the household. And because of that, lingering over to what David said, we begin to find alternatives to family, which may not lead us in the right direction, or it may not teach us the way that we are taught. I'm going to say one more thing, but David, when I first met you, if you remember me talking about the 13-year sentence that you had, and I said, as you were telling me about your journey, I was like, oh, my goodness, your bloodline, although you were incarcerated, became the people you met within the incarceration. You were raised in the prison system. So you had an opportunity to journey from prison to prison, but you learned from people who actually helped build you who you are today. And because of that, your personal family may look a bit different to you because you were raised in a way that taught you differently, if that makes sense. So it's not that you're not unified with your family. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's not that you're not unified with your family. Traditionally, your family does one thing that's opposite of what you've learned. So, you know, what happens is now you come home and they're like, you know, well, my family's kind of this way too, but it's kind of like, I didn't teach you that.
Right. Right. That's true.
Or, you know, not only did I not teach you that, but we didn't grow up that way, you know. But here's the thing. You had 13 years with a group of people, black, white, Mexican, Christian, non-Christian, Buddhist, Muslims, and you learned from each one of those people. Doesn't mean that your raising was wrong. It just means traditionally you didn't follow the unity or unify with where your family was. And that goes for everyone. I'm just saying it with David because of that 13-year sentence. But Truto, you may be able to identify with that. I know for me, I've identified with it in ways that my bloodline itself, there are family members of mine who are not bloodline. So when they would do things, I would say, well, my grandmother never did that. And I have to remember that they're not the actual bloodline. So what I'm expecting to happen is not within that bloodline. So that's all I wanted to say. That was a mouthful, but I pray that it blessed a listener, you guys, or whoever, you know, wanted that practical point.
Right. Because I take it from a personal experience. I tell you, I call them, as we would say, you know, we've always heard that God will send you what you need. And I call them gap fillers. You know, sometimes I tell you, my dad died when I was 5. And there was other men, my granddaddy. And he filled that void to teach me what Dad couldn't teach me. And as I went along as a person, but then I was engaged with a woman who already had kids when we got together. So we call it a stepdad. But, you know, I come in and they treat me like a dad. I did, you know, the dad role. Sometimes we can consider that sometimes that unity gets a crack in the foundation, as we would say, and we have fillers. And we come in and we feel, you know, different people, we feel the because I've had so many people in my life, like I consider, you know, David, you know, Minister Benton is my brother. You know, Shay, you my sister. And, you know, sometimes, you know, we're not blood related, but I'm able to call y'all when I need to talk to somebody, when I need some strength, when I need some encouragement, you know, and when I talk about it, I'm like, BDF, we're known as what? BDF family. We are a family. You know, with G. Will, all of us, we are family. Now, and that's the thing about the wonderful thing about family is it's not the bloodline, but it's the people. It's the people who you come in contact with and engage with and you talk to that can give you an uplifting spirit. You know, that's there to get up when you down, to just give you some good advice. You know, BDF family and beyond the fence and beyond the radio, you know, the Elation family. And this family embraced me. So they, you know, they fill the gap and elevate you. You know, that, you know, family is the importance, as we speak of the importance of family. You never know where it comes from. As my mama used to say, she said, baby, I don't know what's going to happen, but you never know where your help going to come from. You know, I was like, okay, Mama, you never know coming from? She said, baby, you never know where it comes from. She said,
That
but it'll be. So
go ahead, Truto.
I kind of feel like they feel that gap because a lot of times blood relations and things can happen where you get a gap in that unity, but it's always somebody that eventually comes and fills that gap. That's all I wanted to say, y'all.
Yeah, I was reading this. That's good too. I was reading this point today. It said being a family means you are a part of something very wonderful. It means you will love and be loved for the rest of your life, no matter what. I was watching this video on Facebook the other day, and there was a young girl who had two Caucasian parents, and just a young black girl. And for her birthday, they had given her a box, and in the box it was a note saying that she was going to be adopted. So I think she was in this foster home for a while, and then probably, with foster homes, they may go back after a bit unless the family decides to adopt. So this video, it showed the little girl reading it, and then she just burst into tears. And so now these two parents are going to be, these two people are going to be her parents, but they not only did that for her, they invited her brother and sister who were in the foster care services or system as well into the home. So this family kind of went out of their way to bring the family back together. So to your point, Truto, there are people who will fill in the gaps. There are times where, but here's the thing that I see, and I keep talking about the world turning, where there's a lot of Caucasians who are now raising black children, and you don't really see a lot of black families adopting white families. It's always white families adopting. I don't know why this was heavy on me for this discussion, but even in that, although that might be the best thing to do for a child, in that there's still a level of where they're not unified. Why? Because even in that, going back to what I was saying with David's 13-year sentence and then, coming home to his family, even in that, you have to be able to understand the culture of the children you're raising. Love is one thing that, you can love a person unconditionally. But what happens, Truto, when that family or those children want to know more of their culture? There's disunity in families who marry, and one is Jewish and another is Christian. How are you going to raise that child? Biracial families, when a biracial family, a husband or wife has a child, they argue. They're no longer unified in how they're even going to raise the child. Do you get what I'm saying? So it has to. There are some practical, and I keep saying it, but there is some practicality to how the world is working today as it pertains to family. And so what we're seeing is a lot of families not unified. A lot of the family, go back to what I just said about Adam and Eve. It started at the beginning. You read it. It started in the beginning. They quickly were not unified over a discrepancy, a sin, right?
Yes.
So,
Amen.
So what happens when and Truto, I'm saying I want to pull it out of you because I want the people to learn from you tonight. And Dave, I'm sorry, Dave, I kind of took over. So, but you brought up good points. I mean,
we'll definitely do a part 2 because this is a beautiful show. Man,
it's already 11 o'clock. How about that?
Yeah, we appreciate everyone for coming in and tuning in tonight on Beyond the Radio. Man, shout out to the Elation family. Shout out to Shay Samuels. Shout out to Jerry Truto, Allen, and the Beyond the Fence family. Man, we love everyone. We appreciate you guys. You stay tuned because guess what? You come back in next Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to be in the building, and we're going to do a part 2 about family. That's just how we do it. We love to have fun, and y'all better keep smiling. God bless you, and we see you next week.
Love you guys.
Where the music gets. Yeah. Be on the fence.
Truto, what's up, DB? I think we're gonna make them swag it out to this one.
Yeah.
They gonna dance to this one.
I can see that.
Yeah. Give me some love. Give me respect. Give me respect. Give me my God. Give me some space. Give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Dance like you holy. Give me some love. Give me respect. Give me my God. Give me some space. Give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Dance like you holy. You say you're real with it. So real with it. Yeah, you make your big gun chillin' it. Cause the dickers you don't know who you dealing with. Show me some respect, cause I ain't cleaning with the silliness. Surrounded by the fake, you don't really get. Never compromise for some dividends. I did it before, but I never will again. Asking God for the forgiveness for my sins. I'm a child of the king, yes, I'm a child of the king. The devil can shatter my dreams, good ground is where plant my seeds, yeah. I got plenty muscle, grinding and easy hustle. Been in the struggle, been in the dungeon, but only a chick for the lunches. Homie, the road with the punches. All people perish for the lack of knowledge. Why you think we are trying to violence? College, it ain't for everybody. Some intelligence, stack your wallet. I been real, told you I'm cold like a windshield. Roll like a big wheel, spinning like windmills, and we will. Give me some love, give me respect, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Dance like you holy. Give me some love, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Dance like you holy.
Everything they do is in love. Face you close and I can see the pose. I told you. They act so holy, act like they don't know me. Mess up my energy, offensive, religiously, unevenly yoked. They don't mix with my chemistry. You're a prophet out of pocket, speaking in riddles all off topic. Playing in starships and rockets, spinning the word bicycle sprocket. What is opposite, heaven or hell? So what I dwell will I prevail. If the journey getting close, I am a saved by the bell. Purposely ordained to carry the day. Baptized in the joy and pain, not a slave, turning the pain. Toss a car, breaking the tape. Chopping it out like I get to it, ain't easy. Being Truto, oh, let go. Fill the room, now I'm attacking all of these. Silicon I think it's all needed. Like the opinion, give me a minute. Everything good come from God. So I order off to me, you bop my head like the baby. Ain't no ifs, ands, or maybe. Keep on walking in the light, while the rest be so safe. They can love me or hate me, the blood is thicker than gravy. Two on the word, meditate daily. Shocking amazing grace covers the room, ready, set. Boom, he ain't dead, you heard what I said, the living bread. Go check the tune. The bridegroom's returning soon, gang.
Give me some love, give me respect, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Dance like you holy. Give me some love. Give me respect. Give me my God. Give me some space. Give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Dance like you holy.